Hi, and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Charter Channel 8, 6 days a week. We'd love to thank those people who stepped up and said, we love what you're doing and we want to be a part of it. So we'd like to thank our sponsors. They are the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, and United Way of Steele County. Each one of those is what has been our premier supporters. We also want to thank our primary supporters. They are the Amy Swain Hearing Centers and the Little Theater of Owatonna. We could not do this without our interlude supporters. They are Abraham Consulting Technologies, Bremer Bank, Bredna Bednar Mortgage Office, Glenn Meager and Tim Thomas of the Brick Meager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Clare Bridge and Sterling House, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher and Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubator, Owatonna Foundation, Profinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. Thanks to every one of those companies who stepped forward and liked the show, so they're supporting it. We'd like you to support them and thank them as well by giving them your business. And if you are a business owner or have an organization that would like to be a part of this, come on, we're having a great time. Give us Leanne a call at 390-5751 and she'll give you all the details you need to know to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show team. Stick with us, we're going to be getting a City of Owatonna update as well as music in Owatonna. See you in a minute.
I'm Dan Branstad of Carlson Branstad and Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Greetings, I'm Laura Ressler, Director of the Steele County Historical Society, and I welcome you to our History Center. We invite you to join in all our activities events where we honor the past and look towards the future.
And we're back to the Owatonna Today Show. We've had an amazing amount of rain because we're so fortunate. And so we're going to find out what the City of Owatonna is doing about it. I think the biggest plan is the big umbrella, right? Is that the next stage of our operation?
Dome.
Yeah.
The dome.
It could work.
Let's start off by having you introduce yourselves.
Certainly. I'm Kris Busse. I'm the City Administrator.
Okay.
Mike Johnson, Fire Chief for the city and also the Emergency Management Director for the county.
Okay, well, let's start off by talking about, we want to talk about the rain because there's been so much flooding. So let's talk from your aspect first, Kris. As city manager, as you talk about what's going on and how this is affecting people, what are some of the processes that you have to go through to prepare for this kind of event?
Well, I have to give all the credit to Mike Johnson, our Emergency Management Director. He has put together our emergency management plan. You know, I have other great department heads, Kyle Scove, Mary Kay Feltis, Troy Klecker. We've all worked together to implement the plan and to, you know, try and alleviate some of the negative impacts of the water as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. We wanted to talk a little bit about what does it mean when we're in a state of emergency. And I thought it was something that the governor had to actually proclaim, but not really.
Right. The city did go into a state of emergency, I believe it was last Wednesday. And what that does is it opens us up to get state assistance. We can call the state duty officer and get pumps or even personnel or different whatever we need to kind of help us deal with what's going on in our community.
With last week's flooding, did we have to do any of that, call anybody in, or were we kind of able to handle that ourselves?
I will refer that to Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah. When we went into a state of emergency, that authorizes us to implement the emergency operations plan. And within that plan, we have protective measures. Example, we've done emergency pumping to take pressure off the sanitary sewer systems. And it's not just the city of Owatonna, it's the other cities were affected as well. We also do barricades. When we had that significant rainfall, we had a lot of road closures just because of flooding at intersections. And we need to make that safe and putting up the protective barricades that are in place.
And who takes care of that, the emergency management team, or?
It's a team, and working with Public Works for barricades, working with law enforcement. There are some areas we evacuate the area just because of flooding. We can't get public services into those areas. And then we also do some sandbagging operations in some areas. And our primary focus is just protecting critical infrastructure that's there, working with our public properties, and then also working with individual homeowners and businesses.
I know that the power plant has tried to take a step forward by moving things so much, and they've now kind of created a whole new flooding gate area for them. Are there other things that you've seen in the city since we had, a couple of years ago, that horrific flooding? Are there other places that have tried to be preemptive in that way as well?
Yeah, emergency management, we do emergency response, which is the protective measures, and then we do the recovery operations, which is damage assessments and trying to get funding to recover from that. And then you start the recovery process, and we also have mitigation in planning. We've done a lot of planning to prepare the community, but as far as mitigation projects, that's the key in Owatonna. We've done a lot of projects that, an example, we flooded on the southeast portion of Owatonna. We put in a mitigation retention detention pond system in place. We had more rainfall this time than we did when we had that event, but because of those mitigation projects, we had very limited flooding in that area. So that's a success story.
Wow, that's exciting to hear.
Many Owatonna residents can remember we had flooding where we had to take residents out of the microtel using rescue boats. We had a lot of flooding in the industrial park. We put in a series of ponds that hold water as mitigation projects in those areas, and we limited that. We didn't have any issues in those areas. And along Lamont Road, Elm Street, Walnut, we did acquisitions of houses, which is part of a mitigation program. And the idea is you reduce your costs by removing those homes or structures out of the flood areas or floodplains.
They'll be most susceptible.
Yeah, and that's what mitigation is all about.
Okay.
And with this event, I know we had the governor down, we had other people down, and we weren't hit as hard as other communities, even though we had the same amount of rainfall. And I think it's attributed to our successful mitigation programs that we put in place.
And I'm guessing that even after this event, you now have future ideas of how to even tweak that even a little bit more and make that even a little bit better.
We always work on mitigation projects, and when you get declared a federal disaster or a state disaster, and we're currently doing damage assessments for that now.
To see if you can qualify for
Steele County would have to have 128,000 approximately in damages to public infrastructure to be eligible, and the state of Minnesota has to have approximately 7.4 million to be eligible. And it appears right now that we'll reach those numbers, and it would make our communities available for disaster funding. But part of that program is whatever is allocated to a community post a disaster, 25% of that funding has to go to mitigation projects. And we'll go through and we'll apply again for other areas of our city that are flooding and try and assist those homeowners or businesses. So it's an ongoing process. We flooded. We've been dealing with this for the last couple days. And we'll probably continue to do this through the summer because we're expecting more rainfall. But fighting floods isn't something that we do just when it starts raining. We've been fighting floods all year round.
So there are homeowners that have had some water damage and that kind of thing because of this flooding that we've had recently. What are some of the processes that the city does to help them kind of get through that?
Well, we encourage everyone who's in the floodplain to get flood insurance. I think that is, one of the main things you can do to protect yourself. Another item that can help you is putting in a sewer check valve that keeps the sewer from backing up into your home. That's another thing, another measure you can take to kind of protect your home and contents. Landscaping and making sure your downspouts are clear and that you're sloping the ground away from your foundation and things like that are also other things you can do to protect yourself.
And those are all things that the city can at least talk to you through.
Oh,
if you're having
exactly.
issues.
Yep.
Yeah. I wanted to also talk to you about the possibility of, because we have a lot of standing water, and even in some accessible area for kids and stuff. But I've been hearing on the radio that you don't play in that because of some of the issues that could be with that.
Yeah, and that's a public safety issue, and unfortunately we've had people drown after these incidents because of swift water. So we always recommend to keep everybody away from the swift water areas that are there because Even if they think they're safe, the banks along our waterways are very soft and can erode away and fall in. So that can be a safety issue that's there. And Lake Colmeyer is currently, the trails are underwater. It's going to take us a while before we can pump that down. But the kids want to play it's summer, and the main thing is talk to them about that so they stay away from those areas where the water is elevated.
Well, if they want swift running water, they should go to the water park.
There you go.
You know, 'cause
Absolutely.
that's pretty safe.
Yes.
They've actually got lifeguards there.
Yeah.
So, you know, you mentioned, Mike, that this could happen throughout the summer. We would have these thunderstorms could happen, it looks like weekly. What can people do to prepare for, even if they're not in a floodplain, but just there's the gardens, there's so many things that we need to be aware of. What are some things that they can do?
I think the things we already discussed about the land, your landscaping, making sure your sump pump is working in good condition ahead of time. We do have a lot of issues with stormwater catch basins that are clogged with debris and branches and leaves, and we're asking residents to go through those areas and remove those items so if we get another rainfall, which we anticipate we will, that water can drain out of that area instead of backing up and causing
And what
problems.
kind of areas are these in?
If you go along your street, you'll see where the water drains in to the stormwater sewer system. And I looked yesterday, and about half of them I seen were half congested with branches and leaves and other items. And that needs to be open for water to drain from your street.
And the city could go around and do that themselves, but it's going to take a long time.
Right.
It's best that homeowners assist the city by going out and clearing those out because we can't get to all of them as quick as we need to.
Yeah, so it's important. That's a great way to help your community stay a little bit
Absolutely.
nicer. I also know that we run off into our lakes and streams. What are some things we should keep in mind as far as our own lawns and that kind of stuff?
As far as contaminants getting into the waterways, that's always going to be an issue that's there. But I think, we look at that. It does contaminate our waterways, but we try and prevent that. And one of the things is through mitigation projects where you have ponding in other areas, and you can put in some landscaping, cattails, other things that are a transition or a buffer area. And you can even do that on your own property to filter that water and hold those things before it gets into the waterways.
Great. So if people have questions regarding what's going on with the rain, what can they do?
You can certainly contact the city, or if you have more flood-related questions, contact Mike at the fire station.
Good. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate this update.
You're welcome.
That's something
Thank
we
you.
need to keep our eye on, umbrella on. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
I want to.
Recreational fires are allowed within the Owatonna city limits. They must be contained within a fire pit or a device designed for such use, and can be 3 feet in diameter and no more than 3 feet high. They must be 25 feet from a building or combustibles. Only untreated or unpainted woods must be used. Fires must be attended by a person at all times that are capable of extinguishing the fire. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Did you know that it is illegal in the city of Owatonna to host or allow a gathering where minors will be consuming alcoholic beverages on your property or in your residence? Did you know that it is illegal to provide minors with alcohol unless they are your own kids in your own home? Underage drinking leads to increased risk of future chemical dependency, engaging in more serious criminal activity, and becoming a victim of a crime. Please help keep our kids and our community safe by not encouraging, hosting, or allowing underage drinking. This is a message from the Owatonna Police Department and the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us here. We have in studio with us Tammi, Ferch, and John Hammer. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, we're talking music today.
We are.
We are.
Again.
First, let's introduce yourself so people will know who you are. So,
I'm Tammi Ferch.
And I'm John Hammer.
John, we had you recently in here talking about the smoking in Steele County.
Yes, we did.
Let's do a quick update for that for us.
Oh, it was fabulous. The first thing that I want to mention is we seem to be blessed with the weather.
Good.
There was bad weather all the way around us, and it seemed to split at Owatonna. We heard that Medford got hit pretty good that day. Just west of us got hit, and we'd watch these big clouds come on in, and it just kept dry until about 11 o'clock at night on Saturday night.
So you really did have a great
it was
time.
Perfect.
Perfect
weekend.
We're continuing the music, and so Tammi, we want to talk a little bit to you because we're having Music in Owatonna.
Correct.
What is this event?
Well, Music in Owatonna is an organization that has been in existence for 20 years?
20 plus years.
And what the purpose is just to bring a different type or genre of music, expose Owatonna residents to a different type of music every 2 years. And this year we are going to bring some bands that play music of the early 1970s.
Now, we're too young to remember.
We are
Any of
way
that.
too young.
Wow, I'll go with that.
But so, Tammi, why is this important? You, of course, are a musician. You love to sing, and you're part of a band. Tell me why this is so important to expose people to different kinds of music for you.
Well, for me, my life is basically music. Everything that my husband and I do, we met in a musical group, and so everything we do, whether it's church or outside activities, has to do with music. So it's just really fun. We love all types of music, and it's really fun to expose other people who might not otherwise ever hear the Glenn Miller Orchestra or of blues bands that are popular in the Twin Cities or even nationally. So it's just a lot of fun.
Good. And how long have you been working with this organization?
I've been involved for about 12 years.
Wow. Okay. So when is the event?
The event is on Saturday, July 12th.
Okay.
And the first band starts at noon, and we're done at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Well, John, I wanted to talk to you about the types of bands we have, because early 70s, I think a little disco,
Absolutely.
So tell me what we have, what kind of music we'll be experiencing that day.
Well, the thing about music is it reflects the sociological nature of the human animal. And art and music is what rises above, monkeys. And at this point in the evolution of our country, there's a lot of turmoil
in
going
the
on.
early 70s.
In the early 70s, yeah. We were embroiled in a fairly unpopular war, and it was not going well. Technology was jumping leaps and bounds. In fact, I brought today...
Oh, you did not.
My first cell phone, a bag phone, 1972.
You still have that? What year was this?
1972.
Does it still work?
People had those.
No, they're not allowed anymore because they're actually 3 watts, which overwhelms everything. Your cell phone that you carry today might have 0.05 watts. So they found out when they started putting these out there, they were overwhelming other systems, and they dialed it back a little bit. But that having been said, and certainly the human spirit was defined by the music and the art of the times. And it was, we'd just gotten through the 60s, which was an age of experimentation. We got more of the psychedelia and stuff like that out of the way, and things settled back into different genres. Obviously, pop music started to become popular at that point in time. Folk music was still huge, left over from the 60s. Southern rock really started taking off at that point in time.
Southern rock, meaning?
Well, like Molly Hatchet and stuff like that. Even Allman Brothers.
Rambling Band.
Band, stuff like that. So when we looked for a different genre, and we've always focused on like one type of music.
What was the last time? What did you have last time?
Last time we did bluegrass.
Okay.
And we've done country, we've done blues, we've done Celtic, we've done sacred music, big band. We did
Minnesota Orchestra.
It was great.
Yeah.
And we were kind of running out of specific genres to focus on, and we went, there's a wealth of culture in a period of time, and so we decided to go with this. And if you focused on any one type of music, we would have got cover bands doing the same songs 4 different ways.
Sure.
So rather than do that, we opened it up to, we're touching on folk, we're touching on Southern rock, We're touching on funk, which brought in the disco era, and of course just good time music, which pretty much encompasses all that stuff, and that's what City Mouse does.
Okay, so and do go ahead and name us the names of the bands that we'll be hearing.
Well, we're going to start out with I think we'll start with City Mouse that day. This band got started literally the late 60s over in Mankato. There's been different iterations. I think the last count, there's just been about 45 different guys coming through the band over the years.
Wow.
Billy Steiner is a good friend of mine who's literally the heart and soul of City Mouse and has been there since the absolute beginning. And like I said, theirs is defined as good time music.
Okay.
Then we're going to roll into the Southern rock kind of era with the Daisy Dillman Band. And a lot of you folks probably remember the Daisy Dillman Band. They had some national hits and stuff. We kind of cheated a little bit with them because they didn't get started until about 1974. But they were still playing the music of the early 70s. So it's something, again, that we can all relate to. Then we're going to close the day out with the High and Mighty Band, which is an 11-piece horn band, full-driven orchestra.
Wow.
This is where you get your groove on. This is where the beginning of the disco era. And between all these, we're going to be entertained by Papa John Kalstead, who is a Berkeley-trained musician doing folk music. He's been around the Twin Cities since, the early 60s. He's a fixture and a treasure in Minnesota.
So this is an amazing concert that's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to attend.
Yes, it spared absolutely no expense. And folks, you're going to have to dig deep for the $5.
$5.
However, this does not happen without the kindness of our neighbors. We have a list of patrons who have been with us from the beginning, and you can still become a patron. I'll let Tammi talk a little bit about how that happens.
Well, and explain why it's so important to have this patronage for this event.
Well, the patrons really help us with our expenses. We have a sound system that we have to provide. We have to rent the showmobile, the Wenger showmobile, and things like that. So they just help us with the expenses so that when we charge the people who are coming to the event, we don't have to charge
a nominal fee
for it.
And again, because you want to expose people.
Correct.
So if you charge a lot, they're not going to want to pay that much. So to expose them, to keep the price down. So if someone loves the idea of the early 70s, they want to relive that part of their life, how can they become a patron?
We sent a second letter out just this last week, and if you didn't receive that letter, you can contact me, Tammi Ferch. You can call me 455-0666, or send me a letter at 325 Plainview Street, Owatonna, Minnesota, and we'll get you the information sent out and take care of you.
And so there's different kinds of patronage packages?
For an individual, it's $70, and for a couple, it's $125.
And then oftentimes when you become a patron, there's little perks or specials. What will happen for the patrons?
Right. We have special seating. We have
a little pin, special collectible pin that they get, as well as a meal package. We'll have food and beverages allowed, and we take care of them like they take care of us.
Yeah, well, that's one of the great things about the Owatonna community is that there are people who love music here who want to be a part of that.
Yes.
So as you move forward and as you're looking at doing this year, what are some of the things you're looking forward to most at attending this event?
Well, it is going to be just a whole lot of fun. We're going to be embracing our tie-dye, are we not?
Absolutely.
We'll have tie-dye T-shirts on and bracelets, and
I think Zumbas are a little bit later than that.
Are they?
Those are 80s.
Yeah,
those are
late
80s.
70s.
Yeah. Poor Leanne, she's going to pull hers out. Pull her Zumbas out. Don't do it.
And we just are enjoying and are looking forward to it's going to be a beautiful day. We're going to say it's going to be sunny, and
just like with the Smoking in Steele County.
Exactly.
Yeah, why not?
And see all our friends there. It's just going to be a great time to get together and enjoy some good music.
You have and are looking for more patrons, but you also have some corporate sponsors.
Absolutely. We've been blessed to have some very generous corporate sponsors over the years. Some have come and gone. Some have been with us from the very beginning, like Federated Insurance, Wenger Foundation, and the University of St. Thomas through the Gainey Center. And this year we've been joined by Go for Sport. So we're very pleased and thankful for our major sponsors. They're the ones that help bring culture to this community.
And give us the details one more time.
So it's Saturday, July 12th. The gates open at 11 o'clock at the Steele County Fairgrounds. Okay. We'll have it outside. If it rains, then we'll have the beer gardens that we'll move into.
So rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
Okay.
and the first band starts at noon, and we'll be done by 6 o'clock.
Bring your lawn chairs. Bring
Yes.
your blankets.
Yes.
I noticed you say no pets, please. I think that's good for people to understand that sometimes they like to. But for this music event, because they'll be dancing, don't want to step on the puppies.
Yes.
Or cats. I guess people don't usually bring their cats to this. Unless you're a hep cat.
I don't know.
Oh, if you're a hep cat.
2 years down the line, we'll do the Hep Cat series.
You're welcome.
And we just invite people to suggest different types of music for us for the next time around. So.
Yeah, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I know it's going to be a good time.
Thank you.
Right?
We'll see you there.
We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Amy Martinez.
And I'm Adam Martinez, owners of Snap Fitness in Owatonna.
Snap Fitness is a fast, convenient, and affordable fitness center, and we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
The United Way Women's Leadership Council invites all community women to our first annual Power of the Purse event on Tuesday, June 17th at the Owatonna Country Club. Enjoy great food, a silent and live auction, and hear about our partnership with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library and Owatonna Rotary. We plan to mail every child in our community a free book every month from birth to age 5. The Dolly Parton Foundation pays for all of the books. 100% of our proceeds will pay for the postage.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty. And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna. And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with a look at your community service announcements. This Saturday, it's the Steele County Free Fair Barn Bash, starting at 11 in the morning with the car, tractor, and truck show. There's also going to be kids' activities as well as entertainment, kiddie rides, Vogel pony rides. Favorite fair foods will be available, and an opportunity for you just to kind of help out with the Steele County Free Fair and their new barn. Make sure you get out and see it. It's huge, it's beautiful, it's a lot of fun. Children's ages 7 to 12 are invited to join Riverbend Nature Center's Naturalists on Mondays this summer for the 6-week program called Gardening with Riverbend. Gardening will take place each Monday at 8 a.m. and beginning June 30th will continue through August 4th. All supplies are included in the program fee. The Owatonna Arts Center on Sunday, July 6th, will open an exhibition of mid-century and architect-designed chairs. The Art of the Chair from the collection of Linda Jacobson will run Sunday, July 27th, and be, of course, the regular, normal Owatonna Arts Center hours. You can also, Linda Jacobson, over 50 years ago, had a fascination with chairs when she saw an old ice cream parlor chair in a neighbor's yard and was able to purchase it for $5. So go check that out. It'll probably bring back a lot of memories for you as well. And remember, the Steele County Humane Society does take all ink cartridges and recycles them, so check with businesses, churches, friends, and family around town. They can be dropped off at Pet Adoption Days, which are the third Saturdays of each month at the old Walmart building. Thanks so much for joining us this week. Check in with us next week when we're going to be talking about the 4th of July fireworks as well as an Owatonna Foundation update. We'll see you then.